So let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind right now, the future of work in Canada. With AI changing everything so fast, there's this growing gap between what students learn in school and what companies actually need. We've got to bridge that gap. And today, we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating idea for how to do just that.
Think about it for a second. What if those class projects you pour hours into didn't just get a grade and then disappear? What if the whole messy, brilliant process, the ideas, the dead ends, the aha moments, what if all of that was documented for everyone to see? That's the big idea behind something called building in public, and it could totally change how we prove what we can do. It's all about showing the journey, not just the destination.
Okay, so to really get what's going on here, we need to start with a concept called work integrated learning. You might have heard of it as WIL. It's basically the bridge that's already been built between school and the real world. But now, a couple of key players are looking at how to give that bridge a massive AI-powered upgrade.
So, what is WIL? At its heart, it's just about getting students real, hands-on experience while they're still in school. You know, things like co-ops, internships, or in this case, working on actual company projects as part of your coursework. It's a model that really works, but with technology moving at lightning speed, it's starting to show some cracks. So, let's meet the two companies at the center of this story. First, you've got Riipen. The best way to think of them is as the infrastructure. They're like the massive highway system, a huge online marketplace connecting thousands of students with company projects. Then you have EdVisingU. They're the ones providing the rocket fuel for that highway, the specialized AI know-how, and the strategy to create all that awesome build-in-public content.
All right, so the system we have now, it's pretty good, but it's got these gaps. The source material calls them white spaces, and these aren't just small cracks. They're the critical missing pieces that we absolutely need to fill if we're going to get students ready for a world run on AI.
And this table, wow, it really lays it all out. Take a look at that first row. Right now, you might get a project that uses an AI tool, but the big value add is moving from just doing a task to understanding AI strategy. Then there's visibility. Most of this work happens behind closed doors. It's private. The new idea? Make it public, which is a huge game changer for a student's portfolio. And check out the last one. This is key. It shifts the whole thing from a simple transaction, here's a project, to a real collaboration where the company and the students are building something new together.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. The current system is great at saying, yep, the project is done, check. But all the good stuff, all the real learning that happens along the way, the problem solving, the teamwork, the brilliant pivots, that whole journey gets lost. And that is such a massive missed opportunity.
Okay, so we've got this problem, right? These white spaces. How do you fix it? Well, the solution here is a really dynamic partnership, where one company basically becomes the innovation engine for the other.
It's a really simple but honestly a brilliant idea. Riipen brings the scale, the network, that huge marketplace. Then EdVisingU comes in and injects the specialized AI strategy, the cutting-edge content, and that public visibility to make the whole system perfectly tuned for where the job market is actually going. All right, this isn't just some high-level theory. This partnership is built to launch 4 huge, innovative ideas that could completely reshape work-integrated learning as we know it. Let's break them down. First up, an idea that is a direct shot at the massive, and I mean huge, demand for people who actually get AI. It's not enough anymore to just know what AI is. Companies need people who can walk in the door on day one and apply it.
And here's what's so powerful about it. This isn't just another online course you click through. It's an intense, short-term boot camp focused on high-demand AI skills, led by EdVisingU. But the final project? That comes from a real company on Riipen. And when you're done, you get a co-branded micro-credential that proves you didn't just learn the theory, you actually used it to solve a real business problem.
Okay, idea number 2. And this one might just be the real game changer. It's all about turning the process of learning into something valuable that everyone can see.
So check this out. Here's how it actually works. A team of students gets a really tough project, but instead of their work being hidden away, the whole thing gets documented, almost like a reality TV show for innovation. This live build turns a one-off school project into an amazing public case study. It's great content for the company, and for the students, it's an unbelievable portfolio piece.
All right, the third big idea. This one's the deep dive. It's about creating a really deep, strategic partnership that changes the entire way a company thinks about new talent. We're not talking about a single project here.
No, this is a long-term lab, maybe 6 to 12 months, where EdVisingU and Riipen work hand in hand with a company to build out their entire student talent strategy. The goal is to make finding and working with students a core part of their business, a way to innovate, not just some side task for the HR team.
You know what's really interesting here? This isn't all happening in a vacuum. These ideas line up perfectly with what the Canadian government is trying to achieve on a national scale. This is a direct answer to a huge call to action.
Just look at how this whole partnership model slots right into major federal programs. We're talking about building an AI-ready workforce, focusing on micro-credentials, and getting businesses and schools to work together. This model, it checks all the boxes for national support and funding.
And we're not talking chump change here. This is serious money. Just as one example, the government has invested nearly $34 million in an AI initiative just for the prairies. That shows a massive public commitment to making AI a real driver of business growth, which is exactly what this whole partnership is designed to do.
Okay, so after all that, let's bring it back to the student. What's in it for them? Well, it's a total reinvention of how they can show a future boss what they're made of. It's moving from a flat resume to a living, breathing portfolio of your actual work.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. We go from focusing on the final product to showing off the public process. A student isn't just an intern doing tasks anymore, they're a strategic consultant solving problems. And the employer isn't just a mentor, they're a co-builder, right there in the trenches with the student team.
So when you see it all laid out like that, the question kind of answers itself, doesn't it? Which student would you hire? The one with one line on a resume saying, completed a project, or the one with a public portfolio that shows exactly how they think, collaborate, and solve problems?
And that really leaves us with one big, final question. In a world that's being constantly rewritten by AI, maybe the single most important skill we can have is the ability to learn, create, and solve problems right out in the open. Something to think about. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.